Bam, we're live. Show me where. Show me where. YouTube deleted my second comment. I love being censored by the regime. Show me where. I want to see that. I want to see that. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I didn't hear back from Greg, so this title's mislabeled. Where is that clock? I got suspended from Instagram last night for saying tranny on Sevy's post. They suck bad. Give me a break. Really? I say tranny all the time. Why? Is that bad? How is tranny bad? I guess if you can't wear an American flag at 24-hour fitness, but you can wear a pedo flag on your clothes, you're good to go, I guess. Child genital mutilation flag. You know how someone will be a Democrat or a Republican and they'll be like, yeah, but I don't believe in that policy. You know what I mean? So like someone will be like, I don't know. I'm a Democrat, but I don't believe in I don't know. Pick your topic. Are there any of their policies that are so big and so strong that you're like, hey, you can't step away from that one? There are any that are so big that it's like, I can't step away from that one. Like if you're a Democrat, like you have to take responsibility for that one. I understand maybe if you don't, it's a two-party system. It's not fair. Oh, Greg is ready. Oh, he is ready. Oh shit. All right. Here we go. Greg's ready. Here we go. There he is. What a show. What a show. Gregosaurus. Yeah, he is coming. Clock, this was the comment redacted. You can support a Marxist organization and pedo train psychos any day of the week, but not good old USA. It was on YouTube on one of our videos. I want to see, because sometimes for some reason people think YouTube comments got deleted, and then you go back and look and they're there. It's weird. Jake Chapman, I have a Netflix worthy idea for you. Yeah, so do I. Kill Taylor. So excited for this week's Kill Taylor. How about Hunter? Hey, look what I got in the mail. Look what I got in the mail. Because I have friends who do that. They'll be like, yeah, I'm a Democrat, but like I don't agree with this. I'm like, hey, dude, you got to take responsibility for that. That's a big one. This is a mint trading card. Oh, it's a Legends edition. Jamie Hagaya. Mint trading cards. You too can have these. Holy shit, and a Jeff Adler. The champ. I got the champ. Jamie Hagaya, Jeff Adler. With a stand. Oh, I don't like these stands. I think these are the stands that... Oh, no, I do like these stands. These are the good stands. You don't want the folding stands. The folding stands are always like closing on themselves and shit. So this is cool. You can get these too. Let me see if I can find the website. If I type in mint trading cards. Oh, here it is. Yeah, minttradingcards.com. They got a bunch of them. I think that they're limited edition, so these things run out. Look, oh, there it is. The Adler one. Jamie Hagaya one. That's cool.
Mint trading cards. .com. Stoked.
I think this is a Wad Zombie property. Let me see if it says Wad Zombie on here. Nope. Just says Mint trading cards. Shit, God, I have so many of these cards. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with them. You know who has all of these in his background is Tyler Watkins. A Heat 1 app might be somehow affiliated with these guys, too. This was the comment that was redacted. I'm trying to figure out where I can find clock shit. Pat Lang, that's why you should be an independent. Think of your own. That way you don't have to defend the dumbass policies of both sides of the aisle. I didn't see Suze's podcast yesterday, but man, it's crazy popular. Holy cow, the engagement's crazy. And I was thinking this morning, I was seeing some comments about direct to consumer, and I was like, to think that you're going to do a direct to consumer program through CrossFit is going to be really weird. I mean, it's going to fail too. There's a winner in the space. Her name's like Kylie Sweat or something. She's like the undisputed champ of direct to consumer fitness. Hey, Greg.
Yo, so what's up? Direct to consumer fitness? What is that, like a show?
No, and I might be speaking out of turn because I haven't seen. Yesterday, Souza did a show, and I haven't seen the show, but some of the comments were talking about if CrossFit pivoted to like a direct to consumer model, meaning an app. And my two immediate responses were, they'll never succeed at that because that means they don't know what CrossFit is. That's like selling ice at the North Pole. Like you don't know what you actually have. And then the second thing is that there's a lady in that space who owns that space. It's like Kylie Sweat. And she says things on her Instagram like that CrossFit would never take the risk in saying. Like I just watched one of her videos today and she says, hey, after you have a baby, it takes about 2 years to feel back to normal. And like, and she connects with her audience, you know what I mean? And she's got the great fake titties. And I just, CrossFit will never do that. And it would, they might as well just like get rid of CrossFit and start their own from scratch. You know what I mean? It's not, I just think it's a total miss. They don't know what they're selling if they think they're going to go direct to consumer. But I haven't seen the show. I'm just responding. I was looking, Susie's show yesterday had crazy engagement and it's getting so many views. So that was my like knee jerk reaction when I thought of that. Like the original blog, if I was CrossFit, I would just go back to the original blog. Excuse me. Or if I had a fitness program, I would just copy your model from 2000. You know what I mean? Just rip it off. Maybe even steal the workouts.
I think I could
and the articles.
I think I could make a significantly popular Instagram account.
Yes.
It never featured anything other than sub-Twitter sized expressions in lipstick on a mirror in a public bathroom.
Oh, like you
I think I could do the same thing on OnlyFans.
Like Bible quotes?
No, I don't. You know, I don't have any enthusiasm for that, so I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm sure someone could.
What would you write on the mirror?
I don't know. Probability isn't a physical property of matter. Yeah, nothing, right? But see, I could do this for 5 years, and I think there's enough smart people that would tap one another on the shoulder and go, "You won't believe this fucking shit. Look at this cesspool called OnlyFans. This is a chick. We don't know who it is, but they're putting lipstick shit on the mirror.
Yeah.
And look at the people that have kind of gathered around it. Look at the phenomenon of less wrong.
Of who?
Less wrong.
Oh, right.
Okay, like, you know, I don't know if anyone listening to us knows of it, but I go there and I see a post that's several years old that has 65, 70 pages of comments when I print it. And the post is 2 pages long. My reaction to it every time I read it is different. I found it overly arrogant, then exceedingly humble on the 50th read, and I'll be probably permanently impacted by some of the comments. Like the dude that asked his roommate, I looked them both up. They're both famous motherfuckers in this rarefied space of people that think. But yeah, sir, is anyone as smart as we are? And let me think about that. And he comes back with, the only thing I'm certain of is that no one is as smart as we think we are. Nobody is as smart as we think we are. And he says, what you do is you define intelligence by, say, 13 in brilliantly chosen parameters, and they put you on top. It's like I wanted the games to be able to generate a t-shirt that you were the fittest guy named Ben, engineer, with a belly of 47 inches in the world.
Right.
And the shirt just gets printed out. You can pick your feelings, and there's your CrossFit shirt.
Greg, your audio is weird today. Are you using a different?
I'm in this office here on the computer.
If you go to settings and go to audio, do you have any other choices for mics, or do you just have one, just the computer mic?
I think I just have this Apple Studio thing.
Okay, so that's how far the mic. Do you have AirPods by any chance?
Yeah, let me get them.
Okay, awesome. It would help a lot. Dale King, Sousa drank some of the Ohio River water and became enlightened and inspired. Yeah, possibly. Dan Guerrero, good morning. Geez Louise, I'm already following Less Wrong. Wad Zombie, they have Forging Inclusive Fitness copyrighted. Who does? CrossFit does?
Forging Inclusive Fitness?
Uh-oh. Is that true? Are you making a joke? Tyler, Greg, please make a CrossFit rival company that puts it down behind the shed and everyone will just jump over to Greg Fit. Jump over the shed. Sounds echoey.
That's the fucking things.
Oh, that
sounds better.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Did you get these new ones ordered, the USB-C?
No. Remember what happened at the vending machine?
Oh, we tried to do that at a vending machine?
No. Remember we were at the airport in the vending machine? What happened to the credit card?
I do.
Because I sent you a text yesterday. I tried to. I got slapped around. I'll bug you again after the show.
Thanks.
Did you go out on the boat last night?
No, but we're gonna today.
Okay.
You coming?
I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to take Avi back to the surf camp. Did you hear what happened yesterday?
Well, what happened? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't.
So they have a beginner show. They have a beginner's class and then like the advanced class. Like they separate the kids into beginners and advanced. And your kids, your older kids, your 10-year-old and 8-year-old went to the advanced class, and my kids, specifically Avi and your 6-year-old, stayed in the beginner class. And they had the kids like swim out, right? And then and then there's a guy on a surfboard following. Well, your 6-year-old and my 9-year-old did not want to let go of the surfboard. Rightfully so. It was fucking, I mean, it was miserable looking out there. You know what I mean? Completely overcast, 50 feet of view. And Avi was struggling. He came, I mean, it's 3-hour class, right? Out in the ocean. And he came back and I'm like, hey, what happened out there? And he's like, I cried. And I go, how come? He's like, because I swam out there and then I wanted to hold on to the surfboard and they kept telling me, don't hold on to it. Push through, push through, push through. And I go, okay. And I go, how'd the Glassman kids do? He's like, they went to the advanced class. They got to surf and stuff. And I was with Robbie swimming. Rightfully so. Your kids are like significantly better swimmers than my kids. I mean, like, I wouldn't even call
Robbie swims like a fish.
But it was far. They swam far out there, right? So they kept just telling.
She must have had shark phobia or was doing something dramatic or attracted to the instructor.
The instructor's a stud. All the instructors, they're these beautiful.
Yeah, Robbie would
surfer
jump
men.
off the second deck of the boat. Just
To be
jump
with
from things
be
you're not
with the
supposed to
handsome
jump
man.
from into the
Oh,
water.
right, yeah. So this morning, this last night when he went to bed, he was begging me not to go, but I'm still gonna make him go today. But I want to go with him at least in the morning and get him suited up and let him know that I'm there watching from the shore. And so I think
It's a tough call, man.
I think the class is great. Why? Yeah, tell me. I'm looking for an excuse to let him out, but I'm not but I don't think I'm going to.
I've told Maggie before when you were writing a book on how to get kids to hate everything you love. I just
The-
I don't know that having your nose put to the grindstone until you fucking bloody is always best.
Did you?
When it works, it works. Look, I'll give you the fucking example I live with is that I had a front row seat to my sister and my dad fighting. And at one time they got in a fight in Hawaii over her playing the piano in LA. Okay? I mean, it was a constant fucking battle. It should have been an Instagram page. Jeff and Kathy and the fucking piano. And
He didn't
she
want her
hated.
playing the piano, or he made her.
He made her take lessons and made
Yeah.
her play and made her practice, and she did everything, including sit there at the piano and just cry.
Right.
This went on for, I would say between the ages of 5 and 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Today she has a piano and she plays every fucking day. And every time she comes to my house, if I don't want to hear her play, I better lock it up. So I asked my kids, who's the asshole here? Who was right? And they think my dad was.
My mom never forced me to do anything that in hindsight I look back and I'm like, she shouldn't have done that.
I thought you were gonna say my mom didn't force me to do anything. I don't do anything.
Well, that too. She hardly forced me to do anything. But the year she forced me to play soccer,
my dad forced me to do everything. I did nothing.
Right.
Fuck you.
Except create CrossFit.
I mean, so we got in a little family dispute over junior guards.
Yeah.
I sat there for it was a summer long program.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a methamphetamine who was kicking a kid out of the car in the sand and then going off and getting high for a few days.
Right.
I rode with my bike with the kid, sat there with Blake on the beach until it started, and he ran out there and he dutifully went. He had a couple of friends that were in, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking I would fucking hate this. You get yelled at, whistled at, whistled at, get back in line, and in between you run into the water and get cold and freeze. It's like some kind of fucking buds with no purpose,
But there's lots of things that people don't like to do, right?
We went to the beach every day. Yeah, I get it. Like algebra, you wonder. So I'm sitting there a little bit torn, and then one day after 6 weeks, Blake starts crying and asks if we have to do this every day. I said no. Now listen, and then so everyone put your comments in about how fucking wonderful junior cards was. Good. I'm glad. I've got friends all around that are Eagle Scouts. I've got a couple of families I'm close to in Prescott. Every male is an Eagle Scout. My buddy TJ would get ground into his room until he came out with 5 merit badges or some fucking thing, And I was a Boy Scout and I fucking hated it. People are different.
Let me tell you. I also believe in the philosophy of making space for people to do their own thing. So 2 days ago or whenever, Obby's like, it was late at night and he goes, "Hey, can I watch TV for 30 minutes? I want to watch magic tricks." And I said, "No." And he said, "Hey, what if I do a workout?" And I said, "Fine." So, and then can I watch the magic tricks? I said, "Sure." So we go in the garage, I give him a workout. It's 5 burpees, a rope climb to pivot over to a pull-up bar, 2 pull-ups, 10 rounds, right? And the other boys go, "Hey, can we watch the show without doing the workout?" And I said, "Absolutely." And then Avi goes in there and Ari comes in and goes, "Hey, I'll do it with him anyway." And I go, "Joseph, you want to do it?" He goes, "No." He yells at me. I said, "Okay, cool." So they do it, right? The 2 of them do it. They finish the workout and Joseph goes, "Okay, I'm ready." Right? And he does a really, really hard workout. And so the premise of my story is like I want them all, he needs to get out there in the ocean and be proficient at the ocean. We live in fucking Santa Cruz. So there's only two options that are possible for me. I make space and he makes a decision on his own to do it, or I force him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like like not being proficient in the ocean isn't an option really, right? No.
What I ended up, to no downside, but the truth of it now is I see what was my attitude as a young man about the ocean was probably foolish, but it was marked by competency and braveness, and I got certified as a scuba diver and a scuba instructor, and it was the only part of scouts I liked was getting in the fucking water unless it was cold. But I also had a pre-teen experience with the blue and yellow raft at Santa Monica Beach in 18-inch waves, day after day after day after my mom sat on the beach in the sun and did her copper tone thing. And I'd get to bring friends, and it's just we all had rafts, and so, but your kids, I mean, like the fact they're like new to pool swimming.
Mm.
And so half of your sense of water you can't see, bottom you can't touch.
Right.
Water 25 degrees colder than it ought to be. It's rough. I don't know if a one size fits all things works.
Fighting's like that too. And yesterday I saw a pretty cool breakthrough. There's a kid who's a year older in Avi's jiu-jitsu class who just always puts it to him. And after every class, I tell him, I'm like, hey, dude, until you fucking go hard at this kid and teach him a lesson, he's not going to respect you. He's going to keep putting you in headlocks, throwing you around, grabbing your arms, swinging you around, basically fighting him instead of doing jiu-jitsu. And yesterday we show up to class and there's that fucking kid, Brazilian kid, a year older than him, 20 pounds heavier than him. And Avi double-legged him 3 times, and I think 2 of the 3 times knocked the wind out of him. And then the kid was like, settled down. And he's like, holy shit, it worked. I go, yeah. Like, but he did not want to go out there. You know, before when he had to spar with the kid, he'd be like, a bathroom break. You know what I mean? Like I see him come over to the side to put on slippers anytime sparring happened. Anyway, I'm going to take him to the class. I'm going to suit him up and I'm going to put it on him. I'm going to be like, hey, dude, if you don't want to go out, you got to tell the teacher.
I think my kids, the favorite thing they like most about jiu-jitsu class is taking care of bullies.
Mashing kids.
No, just bullies, really. I mean, especially Riley.
Hey, and then yesterday, Avi's like, hey, can I invite the Glassman kids to my tennis class? And I go, what for? He's all, because I want to hang out with them. I'm like, dude, they're going to surf camp. You can hang out with them for 3 hours. Go there. You can't hang out with them in tennis class. You're doing tennis. They're sitting on the side watching you. He's like, oh. When my son was 5, I forced him to stay in jiu-jitsu. Now he's 16, trains with me 3 to 5 days a week, and always thanks me for making him stick with it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's a bad approach. It's just like
it's not a default. It has to be other factors.
No, I mean, like my kids are forced to do piano and violin. They have no choice but to learn to diagram sentences. They're going to read proficiently. Their math competency is going to be driven down the road deep into junior level college math. They're going to do calculus before they leave the house. The jiu-jitsu isn't optional. The swimming isn't optional. Not tying, none of that's optional. And so there's a lot of explaining on the constant as to why we're here and what we're doing. And I've got to have a view of the world that doesn't have me thinking I'm the ultimate power. Look, I'm in love with mathematics. My father had convinced me I hated it. By the time I was 10 years old, 11 years old, I knew I fucking hated it and him. that sat with me for 15 years.
Anytime my kid wants to skip hockey practice, I make him call the coach. He's only skipped once because he was sick. Wild Zombie.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Except when you're bro, yeah, I'm fucking sick.
Yeah, that's
Emily has a friend who hadn't been in class at college, somewhere good, Harvard or something. Was out having just an extraordinary amount of fun. And the professor called and said, asked her, "Is something wrong?" And she said, "Yes." And he goes, "Oh, okay, sorry to bother you." And it was like, it worked. It's perfect. It's done. So, wow, ready for everything but that, right? He was used to people explaining themselves to him. When they didn't, he had no tape to play. He had to go. It's an excused absence.
My mom hauled us to the beach all the time, usually Bolsa Chica. I like playing in the surf, but now I loathe the beach.
If it weren't for the yellow and blue raft, I would have hated it. We got a couple of things. We got Dracula pizza, we call it, because the guy was from like Lithuania or something.
He walked around with a cart?
No, he had a little booth. He was in it and then there was the corn that was in a vat of whatever the fuck, and they'd put a stick in it, jab a sharpened stick into the end, and serve it in a hot dog boat, wet with butter, and had a salt and pepper shaker with the salt and pepper mix and big holes drilled because it was at the beach. Shake that on the corn. But for me, the beach was the blue and yellow raft, the Dracula pizza, and the corn on a stick. And the rest I didn't really like, the sand, the temperature of the water. But the rafting was fun. So, I still don't want to go to the beach and lay out. Putting oil on yourself and sitting there and doing nothing is like a little hard for me.
What was your favorite? Did you have a favorite part about the boat ride we just took? Or a lasting impression?
I like the wildlife a lot.
Oh, the whales and the birds and all that stuff and the seals and
yeah, moving freely and at a reasonable speed on just a mile on the other edge of 7 million people packed in along the coast so hard that they should be falling off the cliffs into the water is cool.
Right.
I mean, I sense all of that.
I couldn't believe how much of the coastline is built. I had no idea how much is built.
You're in the middle of nowhere, a mile away from everything. It's got a little bit of like going into space feel, right?
Yeah, it was a trip.
I mean, there they are, and the angle of the coastline. It's interesting.
Jake Chapman, did you like the smells? There was only one when we pulled into the Newport Harbor. There was a jetty that was the whitest jetty you've ever seen from bird shit. It was wild. It looked like it had been painted white, and I think that's the only time I remember bad smells.
Yeah, those birds that eat fish, their shit smells like fish.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because I don't ever smell the birds that just like in the bird shit in my backyard doesn't smell like bird shit. Fish shit, ocean water shit, ocean water bird shit.
Maggie's dad got a picture with his iPhone of one of my oak trees here with what turned out to be a Dungeness crab 70 feet up into the fucking thing. And he took the picture to the fish lady, the vendor.
Uh-huh.
And the guy in there says, yeah, Dungeness right out of the bay. Red-tail hawks poach the crabs from the crab boats when they come in.
And carried it to your house, just up inland a little bit.
Yeah, I had it on the tree. And I was tripping because it was missing a couple legs.
Wow.
Done. Yeah, took that thing home. That's
Jake,
cool, isn't it?
yeah, that's crazy cool.
Oh, did you see the fishing boats last night? No,
No,
we could see the whatever it is, halibut, or I don't know, the boats with the lights. They were out all night. It was clear.
from your house?
Yeah, so it's going to be hot today. It bodes well for getting on the boat today.
Is it foggy? It's really foggy at my house now. Is it foggy at your house?
Yeah, but I expect it'll be burn off quicker.
Yeah, I think it'll be burned off by the time the podcast is over.
The inland trends, it's getting warmer, right?
Eaton Beaver. Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Sevon. Good morning.
Hey, Eaton.
Do you guys have those cum bushes that smell like jizz? Yeah, we got those.
Yeah.
We got everything. It's California. There's a bunch of weird smelling bushes here. There's this hotel by
That's
Greg's.
a carob tree, the cum tree.
That's what it is. Oh, is that the one that's at
The carob tree.
the one that's at the Valley Ho?
They got them there.
There's this really nice hotel by Greg's house, and they have a beautiful outdoor eating area. And then in between the outdoor eating area and the pool, there's one giant tree. And it is the worst smelling tree of all time. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why they don't chop it down and put a different tree in there. I mean, it's huge. I mean, it would take a lot. It's a huge tree. You know what tree I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it's a carob tree.
Carob, yeah. It's horrible. And I have a pretty high tolerance for smells. Like, oh, yeah, it is. You're right. And it has those giant pods.
Yep.
And that's what like carob, like the chocolate?
Yeah, I believe so.
Jeez. The legume family. Yeah, it's this tree.
It's a legume.
Oh, and the Arizona Daily Star. Yeah, the Arizona Daily Star. It's the plant. It was the plant of the month on December 13th, 2022. So Hunter got oh, here we go. I always like money. The unknown. Echoes of my father and Greg's thoughts on raising children. For what it's worth, it couldn't have worked out better for me.
There we go. That's kind.
How about
the Hunter thing?
Yeah, Hunter.
I think I have I know I got to raise some eyebrows and just about started an argument here at home, but I feel to some extent sorry for Hunter.
Sure.
I think that if he gets any punishment that's even by a hair more significant than standard for this shit, it'll be a sin, offensive to people that believe in the rule of law. I believe that the 1,000 felons a day that get grabbed doing evil shit with guns, that most of them weren't supposed to have a gun anyways. And so I don't think it's gonna be easy to hide the realities of what he's done in light of what's typically done for that. And so we'll see. But the thing is that the evidence largely of his own making,
right,
that was admitted and sealed his fate, is one and the same, I think, of the evidence that spells his father out to be paid for by the Chinese, amongst others. Clearly so. As clear as there he is jerking off on a pizza or smoking crack or whatever you're watching. And my hope for him that he could straighten his life out. But what we have to do to pay attention to him because of that evidence is to deny the fact that his father is president of the United States and a crooked man that has sold his influence and thereby compromised his ability to respond, say, intelligently to China and several other countries, at least. And So I'm supposed to ignore that and care about this kid with the pizza and the crack pipe and the getting a foot job, you know? And it's hard for me to do. And I think I use the example of it's like if Marsha Clark had brought OJ up on charges of being late for child support after he sawed his wife's head off. You know what I mean?
Right. You're saying that the
Like I'm not.
laptop that was go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to get all upset about Hunter in lieu of that's the offering because the dad's a fucking crook. It's the laptop. The laptop's the real deal.
They found a laptop that shows that your dad, who's president of the United States, was taking money from China for favors.
You were leading it. It.
And instead, when they find the laptop, they charge Hunter for.
We call it fake. We call it Russian. We get 50 people to commit their integrity to the idea of this being typical. It looks exactly like Russian shit. You know, the thing that's so amazing is anyone with half a brain where you know it's not Russian shit. It's obvious. If Russians could do intel that good, if they could write that well to confuse me, the difference between Russian propaganda and the anguished thoughts in it from a text of a woman who's being wronged as wrong as that fucker wronged her. If you can do that, you're Quentin Tarantino. You're also telling me that you can make a movie so good, I think it's a documentary, and I say bullshit. You cannot. So the laptop was for anyone with a functional brain. The laptop was clearly the real deal, and tragic. But it also revealed the president of the United States to be a crook, a thief.
Nick Shapiro and former top aide under CIA Director John Brennan provided Politico with the letter on Monday. The letter was signed by 50 former senior intelligence officials outlining their belief that the recent disclosure of emails allegedly belonging to Joe Biden's son had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. And now we know that that's not true. They were all real.
And I'm gonna say this: not one of them was fooled.
Oh, that they all lied.
One of them. Yes, that is correct. They all 50 fucking lied. I don't think I possess a unique capacity for being able to tell the difference between a documentary and a piece of dramatic fiction.
Dude, listen.
You think you could, Sevi? You think if I took a 5-minute clip of documentaries and then at random and then searched for the most realistic movie scenes ever and interspersed them, you'd be fooled?
No.
Of course you wouldn't.
No.
When people act, Sevi, when people are acting, they don't act the way people act. They act the way actors are supposed to act.
Right. So this laptop that they said was fake and made by Russia, which we now know is real. Listen to the people who signed it. Jim Clapper, director of National Intelligence.
Yeah.
Former director of the
he should be imprisoned.
John Brennan, director of the CIA, signed it.
Another guy.
How about this? Former deputy director of National Intelligence for Analysis, Thomas Finger. Wow. Former deputy director of National NSA director, Rick Leggett. Another director of the CIA, John McLaughlin. Another fucking director of the CIA, Michael Morrell. Former Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence, Mike Vickers. Holy shit. So all these people fucking lied to try to get Biden elected.
That's right.
Former Dean of the Kent School of Intelligence Analysis, Timothy Kilborn. Wow, this is amazing. This is quite a list. Wow. It's all
and it's a political.
It's all CIA people.
Letter.
It's like
so listen,
40 of them are CIA.
A political operative writes the thing,
mm-hmm.
and then passes it around to these guys and asks them, "Are you going to sign this fucking thing or not?" And they go, "I'm signing it." Yeah, of course I'll sign it. Do you want to read it first? No, I'm good. I'll sign it. That's what's going on. It's not a plot.
They had to know there was a very good chance they'd be exposed as liars. Seems like they just don't care.
I don't know that they've been exposed as liars. The fact that us sitting here know doesn't. I don't. I know my. No. I. We have relatives who don't know.
Right.
My friend since the 5th grade still thinks it's Russian bullshit.
Did anyone in the Hunter trial contest? Did they ever contest in the trial?
No, you can't do that anymore. No one's done that. No one's done that holds a microphone. No one's done that for 2 or 3 years now. It all of a sudden we went from it's clearly Russian bullshit, 50 signatures. Yeah, well, it's the laptop. Yeah, it's good. To it being used by his father's weaponized DOJ to prosecute his own son, and only because a liberal judge, God bless her, said your sweetheart deal stinks to high heaven. She asked the prosecutor if he'd ever seen a deal like this before, and he had to say no. And how bad does that make you look? How bad is you've got a run-of-the-mill routine fucking case, a felon that lied on a fucking application for a gun about drugs? You got this routine fucking case, and the prosecutor has to admit he's never seen a deal like this before. So she's like, we're not going to do this. Not like this. So they come back and charge him. They're telling Joe, of course, dude, we had no choice. You heard what she said.
Right.
And I won't be bothered if he gets a $50,000 fine, 5 years probation, and random drug tests for the period of his probation. That won't bother me.
The form requires buyers to answer several questions, including those about the buyer's competency, criminal history, drug use, immigration status, history with domestic violence. Applicants who knowingly make false statements may also face criminal prosecution for a felony and up to 10 years in federal prison. How many people go to jail for lying on the 40? How many individuals were prosecuted for lying on the ATF gun purchase form 4473 in the year Hunter Biden purchased his gun? In 2019, on 27,044,73s filed, there were 478 people who were reported to federal prosecutors for lying on the form. Of those, 298 were actually prosecuted.
All right, so we're in that 40% space on it even coming up. I don't. This isn't the tit for tat sparring that in any way.
Well, less than 1% of 1% of people are actually caught for lying, and of the 478 people who are caught for lying, 298 are actually prosecuted.
Yeah, in terms of justice, my interest is people that did something similar.
Right. Okay. So half of 500.
And then from those, I want you to take out the ones that don't have prior felony arrests.
Right.
And what you're going to find is that this isn't, and there's some history between then and now, significant amount of time. I don't think this thing warrants jail time.
How about?
But I think his father probably ought to be in jail.
I agree.
For
what about
he did?
Right.
For something he didn't lead. For something he was a conductor. The family's running an organized, highly illegal business that jeopardizes every American. I think that's kind of
posing as the leader of the country.
He's posing. Yeah, who knows where he is?
Hey, let me say one thing in defense of Hunter, and then one thing that that's really weird. So
I don't have a Hunter problem.
No one testified that they even saw him doing drugs. In the case,
I would.
Is what I read.
I would.
That you saw Hunter.
I've seen him doing drugs. Yeah.
You've seen him doing? Oh, through the videos.
I've seen, and I can say I've seen him getting a foot job. I've seen his dick. I've seen him come on a pizza. I mean, what the fuck? I went through the
Right.
Marco Polo shit and watched more video of Hunter than I wanted to see. I was
Right.
hoping it was AI. I hoped it was Russian shit. Where I could see the reality was the text. It
The
was
writing.
sad as fuck. Sad as fuck. He's destroying two women's lives, and they are articulate, intelligent. They don't even do it. Laps
You
in
mean
the
his
bitch
wife
mode
and
once.
his
Yeah,
sister-in-law,
and his
Bo's wife that he fucked?
yeah, yes. It's so sad.
It's weird
The
that
anguish is, I'm not better off for having waded through that shit, but I did, and I also followed the Secret Service logs that match up with the emails, and so like he's saying, "We'll see you tomorrow night. Dad will be there," and the Secret Service log has Dad across the fucking street that night, and there's a picture of Joe with these fucking guys. I believe they met, and I believe the big guy got his 10%. I mean, I'm not. It's like it's what it is. Am I going to lose sleep over it? No. Does it explain why Trump got convicted of ripping furniture tags off of chairs? Of course it does. And so I'm not excited by the chemistry of this equation that feels the way it does to so many people. I don't think Trump's a felon. I think Hunter is, and so what? I think his father is, and it matters.
Right. Coach, you're the best. Good morning, Daniel Colson.
Thanks. And you know me, I don't like Trump, but I'm enthusiastically supporting him at this point. And I don't like him. But I'm a grown-up, and it's not about who I like.
Wad Zombie, I saw Hunter Biden's dick and George Floyd's dick all in the same week. Huh.
There you go.
I never saw Hunter's, but I did see George's flaccid meat stick.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hunter's new wife is beautiful.
He has a new wife?
Yeah, I hear she's talented. I wish him sobriety and happiness.
Is she related? Is she in the family?
No. I believe she's South African and a filmmaker. I think that's right.
Melissa Cohen Biden. Oh shit. Wow. That's wild. I had no idea. Hunter Biden has been married to Melissa Cohen Biden since 2019, and they share one child. Is this the stripper he got pregnant?
No. He seems in a good direction from what little I know or care.
But we also know that he's hanging around other drug addicts.
Yeah, with let's don't dare get into particulars on this because
I understand. Greg,
stomping on friends' toes, but
would Greg wear a Trump hat?
Yeah, I would. Like where? Out in public? No.
How come no one wants...
Someone would slap it off my head, and I would have an unbalanced, unhinged reaction to that.
Something I want to show you. Something so funny. Where is it? Oh, here we go.
Think of what an adult thing it is I was thinking I could sit with probably any liberal and listen to their gripes about Trump and sound like a therapist. Yep, you're right. I see. Take notes. Yep. And then sit and tell you haven't addressed any of the important issues. All those things may be true of the bastard, but that's not what's important. And in fact, what you have to do is you have to put your grown-up pants on and really come to terms with why you'd vote for a man, what it means to lead this country.
Right.
And what those qualities must be.
I need like a beginner Trump hat. Like, see that guy wearing the 47 there in red? Maybe that. Like, I need one that just kind of like breaks me in slowly for Santa Cruz.
They told me a vote for RFK Jr. was a vote for Trump. And so I'm like, oh, that's like a dog shit bag. What a wonderful tool, because I'll vote for RFK Jr. all day long. And they're telling me I'm voting for Trump.
Okay, listen to this song. This is someone sent me this. They're wearing blacks for Trump shirt.
Black MAGA, black MAGA, black MAGA, black MAGA, black MAGA, black MAGA. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Donald Trump, the first black president. Ever seen a black patriot? Yeah, we exist. The Democrats use my color just to stay rich.
It's happening. This really famous girl, I'd never heard of her before, but she has 25 million followers on Instagram. Her name's Ambrosia something. Black girl. And she's just like, hey, I used to be a libtard. I'm not anymore.
Hey,
I'm voting for Trump.
Look, every time I turn on CNN, they got black people, but they all sound like black people, and they're aggrieved, angry, and whether it's a Farrakhan or Don Lemon, there's a similar kind of vibe. I go on to Fox, and it's a different black man, and I find that the black men that aren't aggrieved, and are highly articulate.
That's racist to say that, by the way.
Listen, not aggrieved and highly articulate. If they've supported, and it's easy to say conservative, but if they've supported traditional morality, irrespective of religious or not, and traditional kind of sensibilities around economics and such not, they're castigated, and a special hate is reserved for them that I find unimaginable. It's crazy to me, the left's reaction to Ben Carson.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yes, crazy. And you know what these are? You know what they are?
What?
You know the problem for the left? These are Negroes who ran away from the plantation. You're supposed to be aggrieved. You're supposed to this is the 2 + 2 = 5 set,
right? In
the minds of white Democrats,
right?
The soft bigotry of low expectations is it's only a soft bigotry because it's a glimpse of the heart of people who think that the black man is inferior.
Right.
They think that he is clearly inferior, and without their help, he's got nothing. And it couldn't be more racist by what I call racism. And that's that broad paintbrush by which you assume things about an individual, not a group, but of an individual based on their color. My liberal friends think blacks are stupid.
Right.
They do.
Right. I mean, they say it out loud.
They'll do.
Like the governor of New York said that black people don't even know what a computer is. Recently, last month.
Sinful.
I bet you can't find one person in the United States of any color who doesn't know what a computer is, who can't point to a computer. Like you put a giraffe, a computer in a car and be like, which one's the computer? They can point to it. I bet you can't find one person who can't do that.
George Bush didn't know what was going on at the grocery store with the swiping of the things in the
Gavin Newsom didn't
Bar-
understand why people were walking out of Target without paying.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. Joe Biden wonders why his fucking peanut M&M bag has fewer in it.
Right. And he's making policy around it.
Right, dude, yeah. Hey, the other day he said that realtors should take smaller commissions to help people get into a first home. So we hit up our realtor friend in Santa Barbara and go, "You cool with this?" You know, it's like it's hilarious.
The federal
Imagine
government's really
asking
asking that?
Yes. Yeah, it's their patriotic duty to help Americans buy that first house. Real estate commissioners should reduce their commission. Dude, I wouldn't let my 5-year-old bring that story to kindergarten. Like, hey, we're gonna talk about you can't do that. It's not like that, dude. You know, like it's so fucking misses the point. I like Ben Carson a lot. How could you not? Pediatric brain surgeon with a big heart, and you listen to him, he speaks slowly and calmly, softly, and makes a lot of fucking sense. Even when I don't agree with him, I like hearing him.
Oh, I like hearing him too. He was on The View and he was amazing. It was his patience was out of this world.
Dude, he's a pediatric brain surgeon. And he wrote some software that changed the way it's some story about him and coding and how pediatric MRIs are conducted and read and taken and analyzed. He's a pioneering pediatric brain surgeon.
Ben Carson is?
Yeah.
You think he'll be on the cabinet again?
There's another black surgeon that did a heart transplant on a pair of German Shepherds as a kid. Not really resume shit, but like, holy cow.
Ben Carson did that?
No, it may have been. It was someone. I think it's another fella. I think it's another black super surgeon. Did a heart transplant on German Shepherds in high school. Didn't go over well with everyone, but
I want to see if I can find it. Is it Christian Bernard?
No.
Oh.
I'll think of it. It'll come to me.
God, German Shepherds are so cute as puppies. Then they kind of go to shit quick. They get all weird.
You know, they are so good at who to bite and who not to.
Who? Oh, their discernment and biting the right person.
Yeah, they're just like they're good with kids and they're hard on intruders.
Hey,
without going to school.
I'm slipping. That you're right. That was the follow-up question. Jay Hartle, was the transplant successful? That should have been the follow-up question.
Yeah, I think enough to get everyone's attention. And then spent the rest of his life trying to downplay the thing. What's her name's ruined her career by just South Dakota style and saying she shot the family dog after it bit someone.
Oh, right. Did that ruin her career?
It seems to me.
You can't say you shot a dog?
You know,
I mean, you can behead Jews and get college students to stand up for you.
Prominent in the community out as being just a fucking liar, and Brian Mulvaney went into an apoplectic fit of regret, and you didn't know, and he was really upset. And I explained him the why of it, and he says, yeah, but he says what you did is like dragging the family St. Bernard out of the front lawn during a barbecue and blowing its head off with a shotgun.
So someone in the CrossFit space in our circle, you publicly slapped around, and Brian was like, you took the dog in the front yard and shot it?
Yeah.
I remember that. I just don't remember who it is.
I'll tell you off air.
Jake Chapman, if I'm Trump, I pardon Hunter Biden when I get sworn in. Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree.
Easy enough.
I agree.
Yeah, and then I sick the dogs on Comer, Brennan,
Yeah.
all the rest. If there's felonies been done, we're gonna prosecute them. It includes Papa Joe and his brother Jimbo.
Yeah. I agree. And hey, and you know what? I also
Hunter could be Hunter. I'll give Hunter immunity. He can testify against the whole fucking pack.
I also wouldn't hold it against Biden if he pardoned his son. You just can't sit there and let your son go to jail. I don't think he's gonna go to jail though. Do you?
My guess is that would be disproportionate to what's normally done in what this warrants.
I can't find anything that shows if anyone's gone to. I couldn't find anything from just a quick look to see if anyone's gone to jail for it with no other previous crimes. The part that bugs me though, Greg, is that he threw the gun in a dumpster. That's where it gets weird.
She did.
She did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she didn't want him to hurt himself or anyone else, so she took the bullets out and put the gun in a dumpster. Then went back after he flipped out, and we've talked about me and the beer drinking. It was Chris King.
Yeah, I think he wants to know the mechanism of the yeast and the uric acid and the type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, brewer's yeast does the same thing that fructose does, in that its metabolism creates uric acid amongst other byproducts. But that's part of what happens, and it degrades mitochondrial function so that we get an unregulated production of AMP. And MSG can do it, brewer's yeast does it, and fructose do it. Are there other things? I wouldn't be surprised if a whole lot of medications didn't have that impact. But it's something you absolutely do not want going on. Whatever's wrong with alcohol, that's another thing that's bad and you don't want to participate in. So that was my last beer. But what was I talking about?
You can. By the way, Richard Johnson will be coming on the show shortly, and
Cool.
I mean, not today.
I think you should get a Nobel Prize in medicine.
And the name of the book is called Fat Switch. If you guys want to read it, it's a great book.
That's a pop. You know, that's
easy
for
to
all
read.
y'all.
Yeah, easy to read.
The papers that he and his team have put together are brilliant science.
Great, Heidi, is that applicable to all yeast?
You know what? It is what we. I have no. I don't know. And Heidi, thank you for the gifts. That was really sweet.
Oh, she sent you gifts, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you, Heidi, for the gifts too. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful.
Did she send you what she sent me? Just a notebook full of nudes? Tastefully shot, of course. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Tactful.
Yes. How about vagina yeast? Jake Chapman wants to know.
Jake's on a tear today.
Grow up, Jake. This is serious.
Yeah, brewer's yeast, baker's yeast. I don't know. I already had my bread issues worked out. The beer thing and the MSG one were interesting to me. Let me share the MSG one. If you give cats a diet based on fruit, absent protein, they starve to death. They die. You lace it with MSG and they'll get fat and diabetes. With MSG, they can process fructose. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah. Do they have an explanation for that?
Richard Johnson does. You can have him on and talk to him about it. He came to my broken science thing here. You were here. You shot that. And by the way, how's that look on? Did that video well here?
Extremely well. Extremely well.
Okay, good.
Extremely well.
Having him here was delightful for me, and the enthusiasm with which he says, "This is a great thing. I'm really glad I came." I could tell he was both surprised and that it was genuine. That was cool. But that was the second event I've done where someone of uh, uh, prominence, global prominence in their scientific field, showed up at one of my broken science things, uninvited by me. And I think for me, that's a metric of success, being on the right vein.
Hey, dude, for someone like him to come, he was crazy stimulated, relieved, and
He didn't know anything like this was going on anywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a neat thing to network and hub yourself or your organization effort or commitment to people that need to be networked. So as you learn a field like, you know, the brokenness of science, what's wrong in academic science, people start turning you on to other people, and you fill your Rolodex up. If anyone remembers what that was, with basically the key players in any endeavor, movement.
I'm really excited about putting on a super exclusive, not inclusive, exclusive competition at the cathedral, the
Yeah,
BSI
thanks.
Cathedral.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm building the best CrossFit gym that ever was. And it's such a natural thing. And it's oddly revolutionary in the approach, I think, and structure and look, and yet it's not at all anything other than an amplification of what I had in the original CrossFit gym, both at the half scale and the full scale when we took the next unit and blew out the wall.
David Weed, Dick Johnson sounds like a gay porn star.
Yeah, huh?
I wonder if there is a porn star named Dick Johnson porn. Dick Johnson porn. I mean, he must have heard. He's got to have heard all his whole life. Yeah, of course. There's a porn star, Dick Johnson. He's featured in 5 full-length adult movies. Hits Like a Pile Driver. It Hits Like a Pile Driver 2. Different Strokes and Babes Ballin'. Babes Ballin' Boys. Yeah, he's got a whole library of movies.
Of course.
Yeah. Very creative, David. Very creative. Good job thinking out of the box there. Augustus Link, he called it a CrossFit gym. He did. Are you going to affiliate the gym?
No, I don't think I'm eligible for affiliation.
It's $4,500 a year now.
Yeah, you know, I was tripping on this the other day. I'm like, I can't, never mind.
Hey, what about I'll just say it. What about as your I've never I think directly asked you this, but what about as your non-compete expires, does it open your thought to other forms of building a community of some sort? Not even building a community. Go ahead.
I am building one.
Right, you're putting out information, and people are coming to it. You put out more honey, and now more people are coming to it.
I've got people that I am honored to know and meet, whose writings and teachings have been hugely impactful to me.
Mm-hmm.
Saying to me, "Do you know?" And I know of their work, but not them. And like, well, I'll have them call you, or let's talk. You know, and Emily's connected on that for me 15 or 20 times, where I can't even believe that that's who's going to be on the phone here in a few minutes. And so I've got all that desire to build. It kind of goes there. And what's neat about the space we're in is how few fucktards there are, you know?
in
People just want to
in
say
your
something
new space.
nasty.
Right.
What's that?
Meaning you put out honey and you're attracting quality bees. You're not fucktards aren't coming to eat it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of them that just made me laugh was, you know, you trying to make an important point for people, and people are commenting on your fucking shirt.
Right. Or my favorite one is when people talk about your hat being on backwards. Like you're telling people how to avoid getting type 2
Unless
diabetes.
you take it off, then they're like, look at his hair. And then you get a haircut. Well, it's like, God, he's gone like GI. What's going on? You know, it's like, it's the people that don't listen. The people are picking their nose and eating it and counting the spots in the ceiling. It's like, it's better when they're not around. By the same reason, it kind of gets nice at night when the kids go to bed. And so I don't have that. And there's a natural part of getting older and smarter and asking, what was it that was wrong in fitness that, whoa, it's also wrong in medicine? What's really wrong? And
Find the
getting to
common
answer
denominator.
that, what's upstream? What's causing this? Because the fitness problem is just like the health problem. And that there are obvious and profound truths that are being ignored, hidden, contested. And to come to terms with that, face to face with it, in fact, and realize you're in the land of no one gives a fuck is kind of cool. You think probability inheres in matter? Good on you, you know, but the problems in deduction, the bridge of induction and deductive logic, all that stuff it's rarefied air, but the people that less wrong know exactly what I'm talking about. They know why science is broken. It's been epistemically debased, which makes it fucking hugely attractive for every kind of fraud you could ever imagine. And how many people know? Maybe 1,000. How many care? That 1,000, maybe. I don't know. There's all of the thrashing and talk of the replication crisis and all. Many of those people have no idea what's really wrong. There's no rational expectation of replication from science as it's done at the university. There is no rational expectation of replication. The replication crisis, the fuck the thing should be, what in the fuck makes you think it should replicate, that shit would replicate? And what am I talking about? Null hypothesis significance testing, p-values, unstated hypotheses against which some intervention is offered a null, and you're taking p-values on that shit. Of course that fucking won't replicate. It was meant to get published. It was meant to get you tenure. It was meant to get grants. It was meant to earn your PhD. It was meant to put another feather in your cap, increase the size of your lab, get more assistance, more NHS dollars, more government cheese is what it did. But it won't replicate. It's not science. And I can now count as friends the people that clearly understand that. And what an interesting group of folks it is. And the cool thing for me is that the Mesperts, the Zoe Harkums and the Malcolm Kendricks and the likes, they get it too.
And they also get kicked off of Wikipedia.
Oh yes, what an honor! I would love to be delisted from Wikipedia for views. Malcolm's was what was it? Views something about too contrary to the mainstream or something. I don't remember. It was a delightful bit of Orwellian doublespeak. I had forgotten we got him that T-shirt that he wore so proudly when he came here. He's a good dude. He's a great man.
Kendrick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has an uncanny knowledge of and instincts around math and inference. Yeah, Grace. Hi, sweetheart. The Grace is one of my dear friends. The Less Wrong blog is just amazing.
Where do you dig in when you dig in on this, Greg?
At Less Wrong,
Yeah.
For me, like if you dig into David Stove or E.T. James enough, you find Less Wrong.
Do you ever just go there and search a term to see if there's a topic? Like you go
Yeah,
there.
I have. I've done a fair amount of that.
Is it
And
pretty
their books,
active? Is it active or is it?
oh yeah. It's Daniel Pearl's dad, Jedediah Pearl,
The mill guy? Is Daniel
the
Pearl?
guy who got his head sawed off by Al Qaeda.
Oh, right.
His dad
started this?
He's one of the principals there.
Wow.
And a UCLA superstar. He got the like the equivalent of the Folger Prize in computing. These guys are highly regarded by the elites of the AI world. The two men that started Less Wrong. And the idea is it's very Bayesian. Yeah, I've searched a lot there. It's a powerful resource, and the kid that's the easy target there and posts the most. I do believe he's a genius, and I'm really impressed with how thick his skin he has.
And what's his name? Do you know? Do you remember?
Yeah, I'm on the tip of my tongue. It's Pearl and I'll tell you.
Jake Chapman, I have a favorite page on my browser. It's the 2003 post on the CrossFit message board where Coach replies and gives one of the best breakdowns of why CrossFit trumps specificity. You don't even remember.
Eliezer Yudkowsky is one of the guys, and Robin Hansen, but the other guy, Pearl. It's funny, I looked and I got back to Judea Pearl.
Judea Pearl. Oh, is it? Oh, and that's
Yeah.
the son of Daniel Pearl.
That's the father. His son was executed by in a terrorist, kidnapped. He's a journalist, Wall Street Journal journalist.
God, I vaguely remember that. That was crazy.
Kid grew up in Encino, and his father's a superstar, a colossus in the computing world, and is written on uncertainty and other things. I think I've got his book here somewhere.
These fucking assholes.
But the less wrong idea is that you make theories less wrong, is the way science develops. Yeah, and it's powerful. You don't get to right. You can just be less wrong.
Where do you have plans this morning?
Yeah, I wanted to go to the Silver Spur. We got Dale here.
Mm.
And I wanted to see some of the surf camp.
Mm.
And about the time when it would be warm and nice, I think we need to drag the boat out.
Mm.
And I think today would be a good day to probably get in some sun. And so maybe go out after surf.
Yeah, I'm looking outside. It's going to be sunny here any second. You are going to go down to the surf camp today?
I'd like to see it. Yeah, I've got that much interest.
Have you ever been down to that beach? I'd never been down there before.
That
even
was
though-
my beach when I lived on
Oh, that's right.
Gladys Avenue.
That's right. You
We
said
had
you
a
had a key to that gate.
Yeah.
Wow. Carlos Cueva. Hey, Greg. Every chance I get, I want to thank you for creating this methodology. I love and am able to dispense to my community. I'm just a simple man that you help become a business owner.
You're welcome, and thank you. It's kind. Yeah, there's a point where we got the community consisted of 15,000 small businesses, and I'd have to pinch myself as to the impact of that. It's very important, but it was never the goal. And I just saw it as 15,000 bright lights in this darkness that's hell. I mean, you got a place where they're telling you got to move, and you might ought to back off on the carbs a little bit, right?
Right.
Specifically, it could look like this,
right?
And doing that in your community, man, you're the lighthouse at the mouth of the harbor. Just an indispensable asset to your community, and that was what was amazing to me, and I was motivated by protecting that, because that's a once in a lifetime thing to be able to spawn something that looks like that.
Right. Hey, outside of the organizations that bring us clean water and electricity and food, you got to rank the CrossFit affiliate or in a community is one of the most.
I remind everyone in that community too. Just in your bring us food. I can't get past that. This nation's fed on the hard work of what we call illegal aliens.
You can't believe it is?
No, it is. I know it is.
It is. Oh, right.
Before the border became politicized, remember we'd stop at the checkpoint and they'd ask you to your red hair and freckles if you're a citizen.
Yeah.
And then they'd all jump back and remove the cones for the white school bus, packed full.
Yeah.
Over capacity school bus with migrants there to work in the Imperial Valley. That gets ushered through. There's not a person on there that came here legally. If we threw out every illegal person in this country, we would shortly thereafter starve to death. And I'm not for open borders, and I think
okay, let's throw out the Asian ones and black ones and just keep the Latin ones in. Throw out the white ones, Asians, and blacks, and then just keep the Latins.
It's amazing where Asians don't count. Now the Jews don't either.
Can we run the economy?
How do you get on the fuck those people list?
Hey, can the farm stay open if we just keep Latins? Get rid of the white, the Asian, and the black. Hey, Greg, I want to go back to the gym thing. So fuck all the stuff good, like just looking at the business. So think about that. If there were 15,000 gyms, there were 15,000 gyms, and each of them directly employed 2 people. That's 30,000 jobs that CrossFit created. But then you think of the ecosystem around that, and each of those, let's see, gyms, another 3 jobs because the shit that people buy there.
We got a sense of ourselves being at some point 2% of the global ecosystem and rapidly shrinking with a dramatic increase in total revenue and highly profitable.
And then you think about the people.
The entity that was purchased was highly profitable with an extraordinary amount of discretionary spending, with powerful revenues. We had such amazing control of the throttle that in the quarter that we lost 90% of our revenue, we also deposited $16 million in the bank. Okay, let me say that again. In the worst quarter in the company's history, where we lost 90% of our revenue, voluntarily, by the way, stopped taking checks from gyms that couldn't legally be opened, just cut it off. in that same quarter, because it came back, within that same quarter, we put $16 million in the bank without doing seminars, trying to deny affiliate fees. Amazing controls, really. And in the eyes of the NBA, it was an unsuccessful business. Successful brand, a potent and powerful brand, a great workout concept, but a shitty business. So NBA's got their hands on it, and every quarter has been an unmitigated failure. Just fucking floundering. I'll make an offer for it now. I'll give them $12 million for the whole fucking thing.
Could I work there?
Yeah, let the affiliates decide. Yeah, of course.
I couldn't. You would buy it and not work there?
Yeah. Give it to someone. Give it to the affiliates. I don't know who or where would have the concerns that I did.
Right. That's the part that I don't think a lot of people understand. Hey, it's not even that but it's also that they can't. I'm not saying for any reason because you're better than other people. They just can't. It's no one can have the concerns that you have for your kids that you have. They just can't. And
it's when you have investors, they pick a management team, and that management team is in business. It is in business. The obligation is ethical, legal, and profound that you work in the interest of the shareholders' interests. You're there to make the thing fucking profitable, or you're breaking the law.
Patrick Clark, Frank will run it for you, Greg.
That's great. I don't know what you'd do to run it as a business. I have no sense of that. I've thought about it. It's not that I'm not creative. It's that I would be unwilling to reverse the effort that we started, which was really the professionalization of the training space and offering a docent in your own neighborhood to bring you to some metabolic health. Cool as fuck.
Hey, this is what. Let me ask you this: would you ditch the games? And before you answer, like
I tried to. Nobody, you couldn't find anyone that could rub two quarters together was smarter than to buy that fucking thing.
But
and
here's
invariably what they did is they courted me and tried to make passionate, mad love to me, only to tell me what they really wanted was affiliates and seminars. Oh, the part that makes money is helping people, and
But
they didn't want the bag of shit. They wanted the cat.
Okay, but let's say someone bought the company and they convinced you to run it for 5 years, or you bought the company and you're like, okay, I'll run it for 5 years. Would you get rid of the games? Because I find them, and I love the games, right? I love the party. I love getting the community together. I think before you weigh in, I just want to remind you, I want to try to manipulate you. You enjoyed being there too, right? And by that, I mean, not because of to watching the events, but you enjoyed the energy there, the community, the safety, the camaraderie, the FaceTime. Didn't you enjoy all that? Like you go to bed at night and you're like, wow, this is pretty cool, or no? The Woodstock part of it. People bringing their kids, getting to see each other once a year, being friends with people you've never met before, but you have that deep commonality. Like I went to that. I couldn't believe how fun it was at the games last year. when I went there. I'd forgotten. I felt no negativity.
It is
Better than Burning Man.
To stand in front of a group of people and the reception line forms, and people want to give you a hug and tell you thank you and that they love you and have a picture taken. It's humbling. It's while doing it, you feel the need, and you've seen me. I'm not going to stop until there's no one else in line. You know, you want me to stop them, and you look at this fucking 14-year-old girl with her dad, and so no, I'm not going to stop. We're going to finish this fucking thing. There's a lot to that that's magical and extraordinary, and there's this enormous sense of obligation. It's what you do when you're in that position. You know, it's a thing you do. I think if it's fun for you, I think you have a problem.
If it's fun for if it's fun for you to
If
stand
you're
in line and
getting
hug
off on all
1,000 people, right?
Yeah, if that's like, yeah, the shit. I think you're mentally ill. I think it's natural to have I think it's healthy and natural to be a little averse to the effort.
Right. Okay, so outside of your okay, let me so you're
I mean, you can be proud and not having fun.
Right. But you know that the other people there, like, so like I go to the games and every year I see someone that I haven't seen in 5 years or 7 years or 8 years, or you know what I mean, who's still in the ecosystem, but you've just worked your way apart, or you meet new people and you're like, holy shit. Like every year you go to the games, you leave with 20 phone numbers of 20 affiliate owners, and like at dinner you're like, I met this dude and he told me this and I met this. So you get some sort of you get some sort of amazing stimulation there. Anyway, back to the question. Would you ditch the games? People are always like, I want Greg to come back. I'm like, fuck, what if this guy throws the game,
I went last
sport
year,
away?
and I wasn't quite sure why I went, you know. And a
Right.
lot of the people that I saw and loved, they've come around for the Broken Science thing and talked to me still anyways, right?
Right.
And so I've got the Josh Honeycutts and the Dale Kings, and those people are just a regular part of my life. We ran into the affiliate this weekend, right?
That was awesome. That was awesome. I told that story. Yeah. Guy just runs up to you and grabs you and says, I love you. And then he said, do you remember what his follow-up was after he said, I love you? I mean it. I really love you.
Yeah.
Big old man, buff dude.
What a good kid.
Yeah, with his wife and his kids in tow. Yeah.
I was
at the nicest hotel on the west coast of the northern or the hemisphere. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad he's successful, and I'm proud of what he's doing, and I was honored to meet him, but I don't sit back down and wish another guy like that would come up.
Right.
And if there were enough of them, I'd go somewhere else.
Right.
It's nice to have anonymity, you know. And like we were in Split, and a guy runs out of a restaurant and picks me up off the ground from Spain, and it's cool. But just blending in and relaxing is cool too.
I'm gonna take the kids. I'd love to continue this conversation. I'll call you shortly.
I'm around. Thanks,
right,
everyone.
Dude. Yep. Hey, thanks for coming on too. Sorry for the miscommunication.
About what?
I don't know. I just felt like I didn't know if you were coming on or not until the last minute, and I wasn't.
I make this a priority. It's a fun thing, unlike the rest of my week. This is fun. I enjoy this. I don't feel an obligation, but the reception line, you know, the difficulty is it's someone you don't know, and they're saying thank you, and I love you, and you know, sincerely, the best I can do is to say, I greatly appreciate that. I enjoy your success. It means a lot to me, and you have to know that whatever success I've gotten has come about through you, so I owe you a thanks as well. I mean, it's a.
Hey, well, those 1,000 people who wait in line from you really enjoy it. They're not. I'm not trying to be a dick to you, but they're not like going home being like, "Fuck, I had to wait a long time to meet Greg." They're like, "Fuck, I met Greg." Yeah.
I understand that, and
Yeah.
I think that someone that doesn't have time for those people is an asshole.
Right.
I mean, I watched Bob Harper on a corner get mobbed, and then he just stood there until the crowd went away.
Mhm.
And I knew what he was doing, and I knew why, and I admired him for it. We saw him at a restaurant in La Jolla do the same thing too. It took quite a while to get everyone in the restaurant who recognized him, have their hands shook, sign something, take a little picture so he could sit down and eat. And he apologizes, and I'm like, dude, I fully get it. You're a good man. That's what a good person does.
Right. Right.
But like,
he's not there jerking off on himself, excited because he's famous.
and that's my point. That's my point. You just giving back, right? It's what you do. If you play baseball for a fucking living, let me tell you, your life has no purpose until you get down on a knee and sign a card and pinch a 6-year-old's cheek and tell them, "Hey, what position do you play?" You know what I mean? That's why God put you on earth, not to knock the ball out of the park, but to have an in with kids. And if you can't figure that out, you're a piece of shit, Daryl Strawberry.
I'm gonna read something to you, and then we're gonna get off. Please do not try to answer this. I'm gonna read it to you. I took a picture. We will come back to it. You get maybe one metaphor to explain where this, but please do not. I have to go, but you have to see this question because you and I were just talking about this. I get why Greg doesn't like the greater science machine as a whole due to all the issues with tenure and shit, but does he not believe in the science process either?
Wow.
It's a great question, Spencer. We were way past it, but I would like Greg to walk back to that door and revisit that and do a whole hour show. And he's basically saving science. And go ahead, Greg.
There you go. You did it.
Yeah, he's basically trying to save science. Imagine science is in a burning building and he's running in to get it, and someone accusing him of starting the fire, and he's trying to get it out of the fucking building safely. And not for the masses, but just for the smart people. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, go to brokenscience.org.
Yeah, brokenscience.org.
I think it speaks to the heart of everyone involved.
That thing that we're... Bye. Okay, bye, Greg. Okay, guys, I'll see you... I don't know when I'll see you next, but sooner than later. No later than tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Remember, Kill Taylor this week, Tyson Bagent. Remember to get your Matufian... if you're from the hood, it's Matufian with an F. If you're not from the hood, it's Matuthian. Love you guys. Bye-bye.